This is the content viewer for the web. This is the third type of content viewer that is involved in our creation process. From start to finish, we do content viewer for the desktop to preview our creations on the desktop, and this time I'm going to use the Folio overlays, and I'm going to use the preview panel here on the Folio overlays to preview on the desktop. We can use the content viewer for our iPads, and I'm just really quickly going to grab mine. And you can do it two ways. You can either hook your iPad up with a cable and preview the content on the iPad, or alternatively, you can download everything that has been uploaded. Now, if you choose to upload content, what will happen is that you will see a whole lot of those progress bars, and you might not get a working result. And if that happens, then you get very frustrated, and you're not happy. So this time, I'm going to have a video here, which is a multi-state object that includes a video. So this time I'm going to plug my iPad in, and I will run the content viewer for the web. I'm sorry, I'm going to run the content viewer on the iPad. And as soon as I do that, this preview also changes to be preview on the iPad phone, whoever is connected. And once the progress bar goes through, I will have the same content appear on this screen. Very good, very nice, very easy. In our experience, the type and level of interactivity that we can add to a digital publication, and I'm just going to show you so you can see that yes, indeed, it is there. And I tap here to open the video, and the video opens there. Yay! All good. Very nice. The type and level of interactivity that you can add to these magazines for a truly digital readership is not nearly as interactive as they want it to be. They want real interactive applications. How can we do that? How can we add like real interactive content, real interactive material? And of course, eventually, it's HTML. That's the usual answer. That is the usual approach that we take, is that we add HTML elements, mainly created in Adobe Edge, or recently we've been experimenting with exporting HTML directly from Indesign, and that was something that I introduced at the very end of the last presentations. Are you guys interested in that? Exporting HTML from Indesign? Okay, so let's do that. For those who were there in the last session, I'm going to show this. Or they already seen that, so there's no surprise there. Okay, so this is a fairly simple layout in InDesign. Again, 3 images. They all have drop shadows from InDesign. I have an object here, a shape, that has text wrap. And I have a 3-column text with a spanning paragraph on the top. This is all part of the same text. And what I will do is I will use something which is fairly new, and it is in my export features, and that is the fixed, fixed layout Epub. And the fixed layout Epub, as I mentioned last time, under the hood is eventually HTML. So this is a long dream of any InDesigner, to create the content in a more digital format than, I would say, a PDF. And that, of course, would be HTML. So first of all, this opens an Epub in my Epub reader. And are you guys using an Epub reader or iBooks or anything on your iPads? Have you ever encountered the Epub format itself? Okay. You have like a 50-50 on that one. So the thing with the Epubs is that eventually it is XHTML, which is HTML. All I'm doing is I'm going to rename this Epub a .zip file. I'm going to use the zip format, right-clicking, and I'm going to unzip this with my Stuff It expander. Yep. And here we are. And in this folder you will find this OEBPS folder. The rest of the stuff is this we don't even need. I can get rid of that. What we really need is this guy here. It's an XHTML. And if I open this, it opens in Safari. And it is HTML. So this is very sweet. I can also select the text so you can see that I'm not cheating. Okay. I can take this image, for example. I can open it in a new tab. So you can see that, oh yeah, even the drop shadow was exported from InDesign, layered as a PNG image. And this is all good. And if I do a little magic, then I will get this to Edge Animate. If I test it from Edge Animate, you will also see that I can add, let's push this button here, yeah, this responsiveness to the site. So it becomes scalable.
And if you imported the Edge Animate file from InDesign then, so can you export the InDesign to Edge Animate?
Can I export the InDesign to Edge Animate? Yeah. Not as yet.
So it's just the image that you put in there?
No, this one. This is the HTML.
Yeah, but in the actual Edge Animate, what's in the actual Edge Animate file?
In Edge Animate, this is the actual stuff. That's that's the text. Those are the images. And if I want, you know, maybe to animate one of these images, nothing too fancy. Maybe just let's do a simple opacity change. So from 0 to 100, like that. Let's see if it really works. And there you go. So we're doing HTML animation using Edge Animate and InDesign. So my base document is the InDesign file that I created, or some of you created, because you are probably more creative with InDesign than I will be. Who knows? And then we do the same thing here. If I just really quickly say I want to animate transparency from 0 to 100. It's probably not the best way to do this, but so from 0 to 100, like that, and just distribute them neatly so they come in after one another, like that. Let's test this. Ding ding ding. Was it easy? Okay. Could you follow this? Okay, very good. Now, again, adding interactivity is key, and I'm just really quickly going to go back to my short presentation here. And these are the business models that are made available to us. So we have standalone, which is single folio, or you can export to a newsstand. Those will use the Apple's pricing strategy. So you will rely on Apple when it comes to selling and delivering the content. You can create a subscription model, which also relies on Apple, or you can create a custom entitlement. And if you create a custom entitlement, all kinds of crazy options open up. You can bundle these different magazines together and eventually try to make a more appealing proposition towards the customers. But eventually, what we have found is that the content download per visitor didn't increase dramatically after we started adding the beginning of the line is when we started adding the interactive content, and neither does the visits. So the users will not be coming back to the same publication, to the same document, but what increased was the number of downloads. So it did make a more appealing product on the digital market. So compared to a flat PDF, an enriched digital PDF that is really truly interactive is more appealing to the customers. And that was eventually the most important knowledge for us. That what we really were after was the number of downloads to increase. And that, in fact, did. So what we have found is that content, structure, delivery, and promotion are the key for a successful digital product. Now, when it comes to content, of course, it is good if you have a well-established magazine. And I see, yes, here we are. So any magazine can be digital, we thought. That wasn't really true. You need to have a well-established brand, like National Geographic would be a good example. Wired would be another good example. Or you need a niche product that is targeting a specific group. And for us, it was parents and pregnant women. So eventually, it's a very well-defined niche market that we can deliver content to, and that is the type of content that they are after. Or you can do an internal stuff. So that's another option for digital publishing suite users, is if you're distributing content internally. So if you are working with a company like Vodafone, for example, or IBM, or the big ones, and they have corporate material that is refreshing and renewing in every month or every 6 months, and to create and make them an application that delivers this type of content precisely at the same time for everybody in the same way and without any visual discrepancies, so to say. So it looks and feels the same way for the Romanian office as for the UK offices is imperative for these companies. And eventually, structure is what we found is really important. Converting a flat PDF one-on-one to a digital magazine is not really appealing to today's digital users. Today's digital users want to have content that is structured for that specific device that they are using. So if you are thinking, oh, I can just convert my print design and leave everything as is and just convert it into PDF, no. That's unfortunately the easy way is not the good way for us to go. We need to restructure the content in a way that it accommodates an iPad or an iPhone for that matter. And finally, promotion. Now, well, if you talk about delivery and accessibility, I think Apple covers that. That's a good way to go. So that's really easy. And if you're distributing for Android as well, then just trust Google. He'll be your friend. But promotion. If you're creating content for this digital platform, you need to make the people know that this content is available for them. without this, without promoting the content, just leaving the content as is, maybe I just upload this application into the to the App Store and wait for the magic to happen and people to start downloading my stuff. That's not as easy as that. You actually have to go and make the banner campaigns and make the people aware that your content is out there, even internally, if not especially internally. Because you need to promote your content towards your colleagues, saying, oh yeah, here's an intranet page that you can read all about that, and then here's the link, you can download it, and here is a newsletter, so you can all know that this stuff is available for you. Now, having said all that, let's take a look at how this whole process actually works from InDesign. So what I do is I have an article created in InDesign, and I use my Folio Builder panel to create a new folio. And this is where the last presentation was rudely interrupted. Of course, not because of the lack of time, but because of a technical glitch. And I can create a new folio just by clicking this button, filling this out, but you can see that I created quite a number of folios here. I go into a folio, and this is where I can start adding the articles, like this Open InDesign document, or I can import multiple articles. And then I go to the Digital Publishing Suite website, and I log in. Okay. So, first of all, Folio Producer is the same Folio Producer as the same list as my Folio Builder panel. Okay, so these items are exactly the same items as I see here. Once I upload it to Folio Producer, they will appear here. And if I want to publish something, so really truly make it available to the public, guess what? I have to push the Publish button. If I push the Publish button, it tells me what are the essential information that needs to accompany a published document. I go here, and the product ID. If you are selling the content, then this product ID needs to be registered with Apple as an in-app purchase. If you're doing an iOS application, if you're doing an Android application, you can choose to either do Google's in-app purchases, which I recommend. In that case, you will have to register this with the Google Play Store as well. So that's. If you want to distribute it for free, then you don't have to register them as an in-app purchase. So that's a good thing about free applications and content that is for free, is that the technical voodoo in the background takes less steps. Especially when you're registering an in-app purchase with Apple, it usually takes them about 3 days to a week to approve that content and make it really truly available for the users. And if you're doing it for free, then you just press the Publish button, you enter a product ID, and it's there. So that's the good thing. That's a good part. Now. Let's go and open this one. It has one article inside, but maybe I want to add the advertisement that I created in the other one. So I actually can reuse the content that I created. So I have this TSNL advert here, and I can go in and copy it to another folio. I can copy it here. It went really fast. And now I have these two articles in here. Now, I am, as you can see, not working in InDesign right now. So this doesn't necessarily have to be you, or has to be the InDesigner who does that. It can actually be, the marketing person in charge, or the chief editor in charge, who can go in here and reevaluate this. So he might want the advertisement to come first. And he can fill out all the metadata, and he can upload preview images and add the titles. Fairly simple. And once we're done here, I'm just going to update the content. And this is where you define the type of folio that you're delivering. So in my case, this is a public free folio. It could be retail if I register this product ID with Apple. And I'm choosing to update the content and I press update. And that's it. Okay. Now this was an experiment, another experiment that we did, and we found it to be very interesting actually. And I'm going to show you from InDesign. I take this and I will preview this on my desktop. And this is this will be a set from Donald Duck, and it's been made with Edge Animate. And what we've done is, using a web content type in InDesign, we placed an Edge Animate animation inside the InDesign document. So we've basically gone full circle. We started in InDesign, we exported to HTML, we put that into Edge Animate, we made the animations, and then we put that back into InDesign. Quite a lot of eggs to make an omelette, but it shows results. And if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. And we can only hope that at some point, creating this type of interactivity will be much easier. Really hope that we'll be able to do that from InDesign. And while we're waiting for the progress bar, I'm opening this for questions. Any questions? Yep.
Why do we have to go through InDesign?
This
Can you not go straight from the XML to HTML5?
Of course you can. Given that you're a person who knows how to use these HTML tools.
I don't. But to me, it seems like you're adding lots of links in a chain where things break down.
Yep. Okay. The whole concept behind this, and I think that this is really appealing to those of us who's been involved in print publishing mainly for the last, I would say, 10, 15, 20 years plus, is that we are using a tool that is really familiar to us, that we can now use to kind of break through this barrier of being a print-only designer. InDesign traditionally was print-only. And
how did you find it getting the XML into InDesign and getting tags to match your styles and all that? Was that a long process?
The XML and making the stuff from.
Because I'm assuming this becomes automatic. The idea is you want to automate the transformation from the XML into the InDesign.
Yeah. Using the tags panel in InDesign and an established set of XML parameters. So we are not free to do whatever we want in XML. You have to have sort of a standardized XML that everybody's working with and everybody's sharing.
So that's established before.
Exactly.
Pre-existing, or did you change that to accommodate what you need to do in InDesign? You first decide what you need in InDesign, what tags you want, then create the XML tags, and then you can use the tag panel with that XML. So if you do it like that, then it's fairly easy. Then it's even generating content from databases becomes really simple. So here you can see that I am actually. I need to remove. Sorry about that, but I need to remove this because otherwise we're going back to that page. Yep, here we go. Here we go. And I grab that, and you can see what actually happened here is that we made a kind of a cartoon out of a static page in InDesign. And you can see that these are all basically standing images from the magazine itself, and we are animating these using this edge slider. Right? So that's also, again, a very simple concept, but it takes a few steps to get there. And eventually, the reason that we did this, the whole reason behind this digital publishing suite is the delivery of the content to people who are entitled to the content. Because on the internet, if I just create a website, everybody can go and look at the website. If I want to limit the number of users who can have access to that website, then suddenly I find myself in a kind of a CMS, CRM kind of system that needs a lot of tweaking in the background, and you want to have the users log in and register with you, and then manually maybe sometimes set up what they have access to. With the digital publishing suite is a bit different, because they purchase their content through Apple, and they will only get the content that they have paid, and that's it. That's content delivery control eventually. Okay, any more questions? All right. Then if there are no more questions, then yeah, that was it for me about this. Thank you very much.